Unfiltered.
I'm not sold. I'm sorry.
Unapologetic.
I'm not trying to talk about him.
Unlike anyone else.
But knowing y'all
will probably make me.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you over the airwaves of SiriusXM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It re-airs from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single weekday and weeknight. The number to call up, as always, is 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Mad Dog Sports Radio, SiriusXM. Got a lot of stuff to get into. The Packers beat the Washington Commanders last night. The Philadelphia Eagles go up against the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday afternoon. The Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott are scheduled to romp the New York Giants because we don't expect much of a challenge from them. There's a lot of stuff to get into as this show progresses, and we will get right into it. Make no mistake about it, because after all, it is a bunch of sports to talk about. Plus, I'm going to talk about Aaron Judge himself. And while everybody's praising Aaron Judge and everybody's so happy to see what he did because he smacked 2 home runs last night on 9/11, okay, with the President of the United States in attendance for those 2 home runs. That's the beautiful, beautiful picture y'all are looking at with the New York Yankees. I, however, am coming from an entirely different perspective, which I will explain to you quick, fast, and in a hurry as this show progresses today. Plus, big-time fight. I'm coming at you from Las Vegas, Nevada, where Saturday night, Canelo Alvarez will defend his 168-pound super middleweight title from an undisputed perspective, because he is against one of the greatest fighters in the world, and without question, one of the greatest fighters of this generation, if not ever, and Terence Crawford, who is 41-0, 31 KOs. He is absolutely brilliant as a boxer and as a fighter, but he's moving up 2 weight classes to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez, a fight he wanted badly. He pushed for badly. It was all about legacy. He's not running from it at all. And he's also saying he don't give a damn what Jamel Charlo did going up against Canelo Alvarez, even though he was undersized. It's going to be significantly different when it comes to me. Just wait for it, and you'll see for yourself. That's what he said. I interviewed both fighters, all right? So I'm looking forward to airing some of that for y'all to hear. Before I get into sports, however, we all know how I started off the show yesterday in the aftermath of conservative pundit and Charlie Kirk being assassinated, shot in the neck, and killed just a couple of days ago. I've said what I had to say in regards to that, because obviously all of us need to come together as a society. Just giving you the latest update. The person who is alleged to have shot him has been found. He is a 22-year-old Utah man. He was arrested and connected with the shooting. The man accused of killing Charlie Kirk expressed to family his opposition to the viewpoints of the conservative activists. The authorities said Friday in announcing an arrest and a targeted killing that raised fresh alarms about political violence in the United States of America. His name is Tyler Robinson. He is 22 years old. A 22-year-old has been arrested for cold-blooded murder, shooting Charlie Kirk from 200 yards away. You're 22 years old, and you already know how to shoot from 200 yards away. I'll leave it at that. Let me get to some sports stuff right now, because transition is going to be a harsh transition, but it needs to happen because, again, this is a sports show. And I got to tell you something. Listen, watching the Green Bay Packers last night go up against the Washington Commanders, I will tell you this. The question that we have to ask ourselves now: is it legitimate and fair that the Philadelphia Eagles, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions led by Jalen Hurts and the crew, are the favorites? Or should we be looking at the Green Bay Packers, who acquired Micah Parsons before the season began in what I deem to be damn near a heist from the Dallas Cowboys in exchange for 2 late first-round picks and a defensive tackle in Kenny Clark? Do you believe that the Green Bay Packers should be the prohibitive favorites out of the NFC? to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Because I got to tell y'all something. Watching them play over the first 2 games of this season, I will say that we need to look at them a little bit differently. This was a top 5 to top 6 defense in the NFL last year in terms of scoring and in terms of total defense. That much is true. But what we have to recognize is that as we look at them right now, there's speculation that we're looking at the best defense in the National Football League. That's what people are speculating about. We've heard the Giants defense was going to be a little good. We've heard the Houston Texans defense was going to be pretty good. We've heard a few teams raving about how there are expectations for their defense. But the Green Bay Packers, right now with Micah Parsons, with Rashawn Gary and these brothers, I mean, they're doing some things that we don't have a choice but to take notice of. They beat the Lions and they beat the Washington Commanders in the first 2 games of the season in a span of 5 days. 2 offenses that averaged over 28 a game last year. Over 28 a game. They've scored a combined 31 points. A combined 31 points in the first 2 games. They had a total of 9 points through the first 3 quarters against this Packers defense. At some point in time, we got to ask ourselves a question. Is this the best defense in the National Football League? Is it? Yes or no? Because if their defense is as elite as we suspect it is, with those boys hunting and averaging 4 sacks a game and holding opposing running backs to under 50 yards a game and holding total offenses to under 240 yards a game, to have teams averaging 15 points a game against them, this is an elite defense right now. That's how they're looking. That's how they're looking. And if we're looking at it from that standpoint, we got to start asking ourselves, should they be the favorites to come out of the NFC? Last year was last year. Philadelphia had some losses in the offseason, the free agency. But it doesn't mean, could that mean that their defense is a bit touched? And as a result, we shouldn't expect from them what we anticipated and expected from them last year, which would elevate Green Bay in our eyes? I'm looking at Green Bay, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Los Angeles Rams as the top 3 teams in the NFC. Top 3 teams in the NFC. Tampa Bay, you can make an argument that they should be in the mix because Baker Mayfield's been balling and Todd Bowles knows what to do with the defense. Okay, that's fine. You can sit up there and look at Detroit and say it was just 1 game against Green Bay. That's an aberration. But with 2 all-purpose wide receivers that accumulated over 1,000 yards last year, with 2 running backs who did the same, with a tight end like Laporta, with a coach like Dan Campbell, expectations is that Detroit, that was just an aberration. But the bottom line is it doesn't negate the fact that they got smacked around by Green Bay in the opener. So I'm looking at them right now, and I got some legitimate questions about Green Bay. I'm looking at Jordan Love. Will he evolve into a top 5 quarterback in the National Football League? Have my researchers do some homework. I'm looking at him right now. Through 2 games, he's completed 66% of his passes. He's thrown for 480 yards. He's got 4 touchdowns, not a single interception, and he's averaging 9.1 yards per attempt. By the way, with a passer rating of 120. This is who Jordan Love is. This is what he's bringing to the table. This is all the stuff that's going on. We can't escape this. We cannot escape it. By the way, I'm inside the Wynn Hotel here in Las Vegas, Nevada. People walking by. It's the glasses. The studio's encased by glass. It's immaculate. It's beautiful. The SiriusXM studios inside the Wynn Hotel. For everybody that's walking by there, I might have a surprise for y'all. So if you stop by and you're peeking in the window and you're looking at me and you're wondering, what surprise may I have for you? All I can tell you is this. It might be a good one. You might want to stick around because I might bring you in studio to give it to you. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, SiriusXM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Answering these questions about Jordan Love compared to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, listen. Let me say this. The brother's a stud, only his 2nd year in the league. We all know he can play. But we got to look at the Washington Commanders and recognize the fact that he doesn't have but so much help. Terry McLaurin didn't sign until right before the season began, so he hadn't been working out and wasn't in football shape before the season began. Then you got Deebo Samuels, who's still a quality NFL player and a hybrid dual threat out of the backfield or at the wide receiver spot, particularly in the slot. You got to look at it from that standpoint and say, okay, you got some weapons, but these are not elite weapons. And if you're the Washington Commanders, I can't look at Daniels and knock him. He only rushed for 17 yards yesterday because you got speed on the opposite side of the ball in Green Bay's defense. That was the second fewest of his career. Washington, by the way, fell to 0-4 when Daniels generates fewer than 25 rushing yards, by the way. 13-2 when he runs for more than 25 yards. Just an aside. But I'm just looking at some of this stuff, and then you lost Austin Eckler. You know, he's got a torn right Achilles. That's how it looks anyway. Undergoing imaging that's scheduled for today for confirmation, by the way. But he's 30 years of age. And he's got a torn right Achilles, it appears. As Washington coach Dan Quinn said about the potential season-ending loss to Eckler, he said that will be significant. He provides a lot of unique things for us. Duh. You're damn right he does. So that's not a good thing. That's not a good feeling. Make no mistake about that. They've got some things to work out. But I'm not going to point the finger at Jaden Daniels. When you got pressure coming your way, because Micah Parsons had 8 pressures, had a half a sack. Green Bay's averaging 4 sacks a game over the first 2 games of this season. They got a whole bunch of dogs coming at you, hunting. There's only but so much Jaden Daniels can do if cats can't get open and you got a rushing attack that's averaging under 3 yards a carry. There's only but so much he can do. He doesn't have any help. So now as we scan the NFC and we look at it, okay, we got to take into account Philly, Green Bay, and the Los Angeles Rams, where Matthew Stafford back looking healthy enough for him to win games against the Houston Texans. We can't ignore Tampa Bay, okay? Then when you look at the NFC East, believe it or not, we can't ignore the Cowboys. Because the Cowboys, even though they lost their first game against the Eagles, we know there's a win coming this Sunday because Dak Prescott doesn't lose to the New York Giants. The last time Dak Prescott lost to the New York Giants was 2016. Ever since then, against them, he is 13-0. 13-0. There's no reason to believe he's not going to be 14-0 against the New York Giants. So you got them to worry about. The Commanders, of course, got to be in the mix. Minnesota is 1-0 with J.J. McCarthy as their quarterback. He might be legit. He looked at Monday night in the fourth quarter against Chicago. There's a lot of stuff to get into, make no mistake about it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. 888-MAD-DOG-6 is the number. Call us 888-623-3646. You are listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with your calls and more in a minute. And by the way, keep this in mind. The one and only Dana White, president of the UFC, foraying into being a boxing promoter, is overseeing this fight coming up tomorrow night in Las Vegas at Reliant Stadium. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. In a few minutes, Dana White will be in the house with yours truly, so make sure you don't miss that either. Plus, you'll hear some of my interview with both Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford as well. So don't go away. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with more in a minute.
Think you have what it takes to debate Stephen A? Call the show at 888-MAD-DOG-6. Here's Stephen A. Smith.
20 minutes past hour number 1 back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, coming at you every weekday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. West Coast time, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, re-airing from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, of course, and that's 3 to 5 p.m. West Coast time. Number to call up as always is 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. To your calls we go. Let's go to Will in Oregon. You're live at Stephen A. What's up, Will? How are you?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Talk to me. What's up?
I just want to share my thoughts. Yeah, so I just want to share my thoughts on the Commanders-Packers game. I was just so impressed with how the Packers defense was really able to shut down the Commander offense. Jaden Daniels had 60 yards passing at the end of the fourth quarter.
Listen.
So again, not to reiterate everything you just said, but I'm blown away by that Commanders defense. I'm sorry, the
And in the
Packers
third
defense.
quarter. But I get you. The Packers defense looks legit, no doubt. And when you got cats that are hunting the way that Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary be out there hunting, then, you got a problem. Because you're not going to have too much time to throw against the Packers defense. And they look like a bunch of piranhas out there. They certainly look different than they have in the past. They're going for it, and they're going after it. And Gutekunst, the general manager, props to him because he got them the pieces they need. And he said after they lost to Philadelphia last year, look, man, there's enough of this. We have a team to compete for the championship. And those are my expectations, and that's how we should be playing. And I can't knock them for that because I don't think anybody can summarily dismiss those assertions on this part. And if they could do it before, they damn sure can't do it now, based on what we've seen these first two games against the Lions and the Commanders. No mistake about that. Let's go to Tony in Nashville. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Tony? How are you?
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for taking my call. And
Sure.
I appreciate your opening show about Charlie Kirk. God
Yes, sir.
bless him and his family.
Yes, sir.
For sure. I just wanted to briefly talk about, it was a great game last night. Green Bay, a lot of credit, great defense. I don't think anybody really seen at the beginning of the year how good they really can be.
Mm-hmm.
But just keep in mind, it is the NFC North. Everyone had the
So what are you saying? What are you saying? What
Lions going to the Super Bowl and all that stuff.
Well, what do you mean? Hold on.
it is the NFC
Pause,
North.
Tony. Pause, Tony. What do you mean when you say, keep in mind, it's the NFC North?
Okay, thank you for opening up the pantry. I appreciate it because I can give you all kinds of history and.
Well, yeah, I know you taking too much damn time giving me the answer to my question instead of just
Well,
answering it,
I'm gonna
Tony.
need to
Come
call
on, bro.
back.
Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Dallas Cowboys. The NFC has been in the Super Bowl 33 times. Okay, 33 times in the Super Bowl. The NFC North. What trades did we do? The Dallas Cowboys do to what division? The NFC North. We traded Herschel Walker. Everybody thought it was a joke. Now we traded Michael Parsons. We got 4 first rounds coming. And you said it. Kudos to you at the very end. The Cowboys played the Eagles very, very well on the road.
So what you're telling me is that I'm listening to a Cowboy fan who believes that the NFC North is overrated, and wait until you see what my Dallas Cowboys do. That's who I'm talking to. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, and wait till you see when the NFC. Yes, you exactly.
Hey, Tony.
Yes,
Hey, Tony.
sir.
Goodbye.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye. Call me tomorrow. Call me Monday. I ain't trying to listen to this right now. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and listen to somebody tell me what the Cowboys going to do. This man, you ain't won a Super Bowl since 1996. And he going to call up here. I mean, let's go through history and you'll see. That's a long time ago. They haven't been in an NFC championship game in 29 years. They haven't been to a Super Bowl. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 29 years. See, this is the part I want everybody to hear this because this is what annoys me about Dallas Cowboys fans. You know we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? You know we're going to win the Super Bowl next year, right? This is what they do. This is what they do. That's the kind of stuff that gets on my last damn nerves. But, Tony, it's all right because you talk long enough. I'm going to let you come back on, call back Monday or whatever. We can go back at it all season long. And I'm quite sure you're going to be happy Monday because the Giants ain't beat the Cowboys in 9 years. Ain't no reason to believe it ain't going 10. So we can do that. Oh, I got to get this next caller. This next caller calls himself the Black Al Bundy. Really? Explain yourself, bro. Explain yourself. Why that name?
Because I'm married with children, and they treat me like Al Bundy. So
how do they treat you like Al Bundy? How was Al Bundy treated?
Oh, you know how they treat Al Bundy. You know this. So let's get to the question. My thing
No, bro. This is Stephen A. Smith Show. I asked you a direct damn question. I want to know what that means. When you say they treat you like Al Bundy, you saying that your wife and kids treat you that way. Why? How do they treat you? Say it if it's true. Black Al Bundy, how do they treat you?
You know how black men feel in the house. You know what it is. You ain't immune to that.
I have millions of listeners. I am asking you for them. Answer the question.
They don't care what their daddy needs or wants. It's about them.
Okay. That's all they need. Now, that's good. That's good. That answers the question. Next time, understand, on this show, you answer the question. You answer the question, then you talk. Now go ahead. You answer the question. They don't give a damn about you. Your wife and kids don't give a damn about you. You don't matter. You're just in the house. You're there to pay bills and do their bidding and do whatever they want to do. You have no rights whatsoever. That's basically what you're saying by calling yourself the Black Al Bundy. Now you stand out. Got you. Hear you loud and clear. Now make your point.
Now, I don't understand how analysts, when y'all talk about Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, they cheated. Through 6 of their championships, they got caught cheating, not just hearsay, but no one says nothing about that. They call them the greatest.
Al, are you saying all 6 Super Bowl championships for Tom Brady and Bill Belichick were illegitimate?
No, but they got caught on 3 of them, so we don't know what they was doing on the other 3.
What 3?
I'm just saying.
What 3? Spygate was 1. They didn't win the year of Deflategate. They didn't win the year of Deflategate. They got beat.
I mean, whether they won or not, they were cheaters.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. You brought up their championships. I just brought up the fact that during the times you felt they got caught, they didn't win. That's what I'm saying. They didn't win the Super Bowl championship.
So you don't think when they was winning, they didn't do no cheating? They were straight up then, but they got caught.
I think there have been too many occasions where Tom Brady and Bill Belichick whipped people's ass for you to be saying that. A matter of fact, the day that the year that the whole Deflategate thing came about, if I remember correctly, was the year they went undefeated during the regular season and into the playoffs. And Randy Moss was one of those dudes as well. And they went out there and they bust everybody's living butt until they ran into the Giants in the Super Bowl.
So we don't want to talk about Randy Moss. I'm a Raider fan. You know how he did us.
Man,
so we won't mention him.
Goodbye, man. Goodbye. Have a nice day. So you want to whine about the Patriots and Bill Belichick. Then I bring up Randy Moss, who's a member of the New England Patriots, but because he was a member of the Raiders before, and you have the whole, Tom Brady with the tuck rule and all of that. Now that's illegitimate. Stop it. I mean, this is stuff that happened in the early 2000s, and here you are bitching about stuff that happened years ago, and there's no evidence definitively really, really going up in your favor. Just stop it. I don't have time for it no more. Let's go to Michael in Colorado. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Stephen A. Finally get to talk to you.
Thank you. What's up?
I was just reading this morning about NFL fans going to be boycotting these games. Because did you see what happened to that Texas fan where the Rams fans beat the shit out of her and her boyfriend? I mean, that was terrible. And I was just wanting to know what you think we could do.
Well,
about it.
I don't know what happened with that. I haven't seen it, so I'd be talking from an ill-informed perspective. Let's watch our language, by the way. But let me say this to you, okay? I don't know. And this is me not knowing anything. I haven't seen it, haven't heard about it. That might be my fault. I got it. I don't ever believe fans are going to boycott NFL games. I don't believe it for 1 second. I don't trust it for 1 second. I've seen enough throughout the years, and I'm telling you right now, there's no way in hell I believe for 1 second that fans are going to boycott NFL games. NFL is king in America. It's religion. You got pastors and people like that, rearranging their schedule around NFL kickoff time. So I don't believe that for 1 second, but I will say this. We got to come together. People getting beat up, jumped, being at an unfair disadvantage. Obviously, the Charlie Kirk thing, getting shot from 200 yards away. And our society has lost its mind. And we got to get back, because if you got chaos and mayhem in the streets of America, then America ain't what we thought it was and ain't what it's supposed to be. And ultimately, all of us fall. All of us fall. And so we have to remember that. And we have to look at our lives and look at our quality of life and look at it compared to other parts of this world and ask ourselves, you sure you want to be someplace else? You sure you want to allow our society to mirror that of other places? You sure you want that? Obviously, there's evil amongst us, a few folks that do want it that way, but most of us don't. And the lives out of the many damn sure need to outweigh the lives of the few who don't know how to act. Make no mistake about that. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call. It's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Up next, He is the man, the myth, the legend, the president of the UFC, who's now venturing in the boxing promotion. He is the one and only Dana White, and he is up next with yours truly right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with Dana White in a minute.
Back to the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call. That's 888-623-3646. I'll get back to the calls in a little while, but my next guest is the man who has elevated the UFC to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. He is now venturing into boxing because I have long for a long time said this man needs to take over boxing because we need to get the fights we want to see when we want to see them instead of having to wait forever for them. He is the man, the one and only Dana White. What's going on, big time?
Good morning, buddy.
How you doing? Listen, guys, shake your hand. I'm in a good place. I'm health-wise because my health transformation over the last few years, it was him. It was him that introduced me to Gary Breck. It was him that got me on the right path. So thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure. I love seeing it.
Yeah,
man.
I know. That's exactly. Let's talk.
At the time when I talked to you about this, I mean, I don't know, either you or Mario Lopez, I don't know which guy had more jobs, but I don't know how you were doing it at the time without having a certain level of, you believed you had a certain level of fitness and health, but you did not.
I did not. And then Gary looked at my numbers and showed me how much bad shape I was in, and the transformation has kicked in ever since then. I don't think I've worked out less than 5 days a week since that day.
That's awesome.
And I get in the cold plunge often, not every day, because I ain't getting in anybody else's cold plunge. I'm gonna get in my own. That's just me.
Before we got on the air, we had a huge cold plunge discussion.
That's right. That's right.
There's people who love it, and people who
it's a nightmare.
Love to hate it.
It's a nightmare, but it's worth it. Let's get to this fight right here, which you're promoting: Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. How did this come to be? How did you get involved?
Well, I've been, talking to Sheikh Turkey from Saudi Arabia for a while, and he wanted me to promote this fight. So when somebody comes to you and asks you to promote Canelo versus Crawford, no matter how busy you are, what you got going on, what you don't say is no. So, I accepted the challenge, dove in, and tomorrow night it all goes down. Tomorrow night, we're doing it in a stadium, and I've never been a big fan of doing fights in stadiums.
Why not, by the way? Why not?
I just think they're too big. I think in an arena, you get a certain type of energy of field. I feel like the fight is easy to see no matter where you sit. So my challenge on Saturday night, this is my whole, when you put on a great product, that's all I care about every weekend.
Right.
And I am what you call the bells and whistles guy. I'm going to put on the production in-house and on television. See, there's three types of fans. There's the guy who says, I'm flying to Vegas and we're going to this fight and we're getting tickets. There's the guy who says, I'm staying home, I'm having pizza over, people over, we're going to have pizza, beer, and whatever. And then there's a guy that's like, I'm going out tonight, so we got to find a bar to watch the fight in. Those are my three customers. And every one of those people I think about, and I want them all to have a good experience. So now in boxing, it's the thing that I've been complaining about for 30 years is that they don't care about, first of all, they'll do a fight on TV, right? And then there's a podcast. And then there'll be another fight, and then there's a podcast.
Right.
My philosophy on promoting fights is we've done press conferences, interviews, face-offs. All the smack has been talked. All the fights have been broken down by everybody. On Saturday night, you're ready to see fights. Fight. I just run the show. I don't drag this thing out with all these people talking that night. So I have to pull that off on the production. Then in-house, you've been to the UFC.
Of course.
I mean, nobody walks out of a UFC event and says, yeah, I don't ever want to come to one of these again.
Never.
The event runs smooth. It's got great energy. The fights are good. So once I put all the bells and whistles together, Saturday night, the fighters got to step in and do their job.
But it's not just that, Dana. It's the fact that they know that you're not going to play, that if the fans clamor for a fight, you're going to give it to them. If you qualified and guys are talking smack and they act like they want to get it on right now in the parking lot, you're the type of dude to say, hold on now. we can have you in the ring next month. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that people have been aching for with the sport of boxing. So I'm asking asking you,
thank you.
Canelo with Crawford, what do you think this fight is going to be like? Because you know a thing or two about boxing.
Yeah, well, I think the fact that Crawford is moving up 2 weight classes feels disrespected, feels he hasn't got, everything that he should have. He believes that he's the best fighter in the world. He believes that he can beat Canelo. And if you're a fight fan, this is what we dreamed of. These are the things we've been talking about when the absolute best wouldn't fight the best. And 10 years later, after they retire, people be like, I think Crawford could have beat Canelo. Guess what? We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Tomorrow night.
And you said that you talked about the hesitancy in terms of having a fight in the stadium as opposed to something like T-Mobile or MGM Grand or something like that, right? So we're talking about how much is this seat? About 70,000, 80,000? How much is the Reliance Stadium?
Yeah, it'll be over 60,000.
It'll be over 60,000, right? So it's over 60,000. What made you decide to go that route with this fight?
Well, Sheikh Turkey wanted Allegiant Stadium so bad. And, this is the 3rd biggest fight in boxing history. Number 1 is Mayweather-Pacquiao. Number 2 is Mayweather-McGregor. And number 3 is this fight. And it's the biggest stadium fight of all time. So it was really important to Turkey to be at Allegiant Stadium. He wanted it. So we're going to make it happen.
I don't think it's going to be a problem filling it up. You seen the following the Canelo?
No,
has?
it's not.
It's not going to be a problem filling it up.
I didn't check this morning, but we were under 3,000 tickets left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Canelo Alvarez, what have you seen from him lately that has you intrigued about this fight? We all know how great he is. 63-2 for crying out loud. He's never been knocked out. And the guy is moving up 2 weight classes to go against him, and he could be a body snatcher. His best shot is the left hook to the liver. We know who Canelo Alvarez is. I'm surprised he took this fight, and then Terence Crawford said to me, I begged him. I wanted this bad. It's legacy. This is what it's all about. What do you say to all of that?
Yeah, no, I agree. And the fact that, listen, the fact that Crawford wanted this fight. He's going to move up 2 weight classes, incredibly talented. And most of my, inside guys think Crawford wins this fight. And then for Canelo to accept it, and everybody wants to talk smack about Canelo. Oh, he's been fighting fights lately that he knows he can win and all the things that people talk. You can't talk anything. No smack talk about either of these guys going into this fight. When's the last time you saw anybody do anything like this?
That's
true.
true.
Over a decade.
Who convinced Canelo to take this? Because when I spoke to Terence Crawford, and I'm going to air his interview in a little bit, he said to me that originally Canelo was of the mindset that it was a lose-lose proposition for himself because, if he loses the fight, he lost to a smaller guy. If he wins the fight, he just beat up on a smaller guy, et cetera, et cetera. It was like he didn't see the win. Who convinced him otherwise, Dana?
That's a great question. Definitely wasn't me, but if I had to guess, I would say Sheikh Turkey is probably the guy who convinced him. But it doesn't, even if you look at guys like Floyd and other guys who have been very protective of their legacy, for Canelo to take this fight, for Crawford to take this fight, it's just nobody should be talking smack. It's free on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix already, what's wrong with you? Get Netflix.
Exactly.
The fight's basically costing you nothing, and it's one of the best fights you're ever going to see in boxing.
You're on the record saying you expect this rather to be a war.
Yeah.
Those were. This is the head of the UFC that I'm talking to here. When you say war, I take that seriously. That means you ain't nobody's running, ain't nobody's hiding, nobody's ducking. Crawford's gonna be right there, ready to trade blows with Canelo Alvarez. Why did you use that word war? Why are you feeling that way?
Because I think that I can just tell, and what a lot of people don't know about Crawford is he's a really nice guy. You meet him, I've had a great experience with him. My staff has had a great experience with him and his people. But he's a mean dude, man. He's nasty. And I think that the fact that he sees the light at the end of the tunnel with this fight, I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to go after Canelo. And then we all know what a great counterpuncher Canelo is and how hard he hits. So I expect this fight to I think that this fight is going to exceed people's expectations.
Why? Or how, rather? That's the how is it going to exceed these?
Because I think if you have a guy that's going to be as aggressive as I think Crawford's going to be, right. And I think Crawford's going to go for the knockout. I don't think Crawford's going to try to outpoint him. I think he's going to go in and try to knock
So
Canelo.
you don't think this fight's going 12 rounds? Is that your way of saying that, Dana White? You don't think this fight's going 12 rounds?
I'm not saying that. What I am saying is even if it goes 12 rounds, I think it's going to be a fight that people are going to be very happy they stayed home on Saturday night and watched.
You've been on the record talking about how you've wanted to fix boxing. You've mentioned that in the past. Clearly, this is a huge step towards doing that. Speak to me about why you've been so passionate about this particular subject, considering the enormous success. And by the way, congratulations with the Paramount deal, over $7 billion for UFC. Way to go, my brother. Way to go. But why is it so important to you to fix boxing?
Well, it's not that, I as I come into this thing, there's no arrogance where I'm like, I'm going to be the end all be all and I'm going to fix boxing. I have my idea of how, when I was a fan, how did you become a boxing fan when you were younger?
Yeah.
Hagler fought Hearns. Hagler fought
Watching
Leonard.
a great fight.
Leonard fought Duran.
Yeah.
I mean, all these guys fought each other. And there's no doubt that money ruins everything. Once you get money involved in anything, it usually messes it up. And that has definitely happened to boxing. But there are lots of things, from the production to the fighting to the promotion of boxing. I'm gonna come in with my own style and my own way of doing things, and we'll see how this plays out over the next couple of years.
This is the first, knowing you.
I say this all the time too. The UFC was built off everything that I loved about boxing and everything that I hated about boxing, and it turned out pretty good.
The thing about the UFC though is that it doesn't matter if somebody's undefeated. If they're a great fighter, they're a great fighter. If styles make fights, if the style is great and the matchup is there, everybody loves it. It seems like boxing is held hostage by the L department in that win-loss record. If you got a loss or two or whatever, people don't look at you a little bit differently. You find that to be the case?
Very true. And if you look, this is the other thing about this fight on Saturday night. For any of you people that are fight fans, believe me when I tell you, tune in for the first prelim fight of the night, not just the main event. I have this card stacked with guys who are undefeated fighting other undefeated guys.
Wow.
So, the co-main event, Callum Walsh versus Fernando Vargas Jr.
Okay.
Both guys young, undefeated, and they do not like each other. The co-main event's going to be awesome too. The undercard is great, and that's what you're going to see in 26 when I start, my deal. You're going to see guys, young guys with undefeated records fighting young guys with undefeated records. So, everybody's undefeated in boxing. Mm-hmm. When you are undefeated in the UFC, it really means something. Right. Like I always talk about John Jones.
Yes.
John Jones
all-time great
is undefeated still.
That's
Nobody
right.
has ever beat John Jones.
Him and the Magomedov. Those are the two names that come 100%. To mind when you think about people that's undefeated.
Ilya Topuria.
No, absolutely. That brother's special.
Yeah.
That's a special dude right there.
Right.
Yes, he's the first guy that's had me thinking about Conor McGregor in that regard. Like, he has that potential.
I agree.
You understand, to be that guy. He's special.
I agree.
Oh, my Lord. Listen, before I let you get on out of here, I'm reading this. In addition to the knockout bonus, the winner will take home some other prizes. Tell us about that. I'm hearing about some other prizes.
No, so what happened was, we were going to announce this yesterday, but it sort of didn't. The opportunity wasn't there during the press conference, so I'll announce it right here.
Sure.
So on the undercard fights, Canelo and Crawford are going to do just fine on Saturday night. They're going to be okay. But on the undercard fights, we're going to have a performance of the night and a fight of the night.
Okay.
$100,000 each for the fighters on the undercard from Shake Turkey. So you can be involved in the performance of the night and the fight of the night and take home $200,000 for these undercard fighters. So good things coming in 26. And think about this, and I like to say this all the time, but have you ever seen a sport or a business where trillions of dollars in revenue was generated, yet at the end of the day, there's nothing there?
Wow.
Only boxing, right? So when I go into 26 and I'm going to do my thing, you realize that none of these promoters even have a television deal right now.
That's right.
Boxing does not have a TV deal.
Right.
DAZN is doing some fights.
That was my next question. Because, see, I grew up loving boxing. Why World of Sports? Muhammad Ali. To me, that's what it's all about. That's how you find out who's worthy of championship contention. Somebody, the eighth contender, your number seventh contender. People look at that right now and just shove that aside like that's nothing. But if you see them on Wild World of Sports on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, okay, and you get to know these fighters, you're going to go like this. That guy's pretty damn good. You're not going to care about the fact that he might have an L on his record or whatever. That's how I'm looking at it.
I grew up on ABC's Wide World of Sports and USA's Tuesday Night Fights. I never missed any of them. Even ESPN had fights back then. Nobody has a television deal. DAZN is doing some fights. I will come into 26 with a great television deal for boxing, and I'm gonna come in. You know, a lot of people are gonna talk smack, and everybody's gonna. We'll see how this plays out over the next couple
years. I got
years.
your back. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna get away with doing that. Me and you've been talking about boxing. I've been trying to get you to do this for years. So I'm very, very happy because I think you're the guy to oversee boxing for specifically to make sure we get the fights we want to see when we want to see them. If there's one person that will make sure that happens here in this country and in this sport, it is Dana freaking White. I have no doubt about that. Congratulations,
Thank you,
man.
my friend.
You anticipating this is going to be as successful as the UFC one day?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, boxing's been successful since the day two guys threw a punch at each other. So, you know, I think there's some tweaks to be made to the sport, and the sport can continue to thrive.
Always here for you.
Thank you.
Always here.
Pleasure
One
to
and
see
only
you.
Dana White of the UFC. Promoting this fight Saturday night. Saul Canelo Alvarez, 63-2, never been knocked out against Terence Crawford, 41-0 with 31 KOs. Lord have mercy. This is it right here.
19-0 in title fights.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But never fought at 168, and Canelo's undefeated at 168, 11-0.
And that's what makes it great.
That's what makes it great. Dana White in the house with Stephen A. Smith Show. Back with your calls and more in a minute. Stephen A. Smith Show. Don't go away. Thanks again to the one and only Dana White for coming on to the show. He's the promoter along in concert with Nick Khan, who's one of the great minds in the world of sports. He runs the WWE. Prior to that was an agent extraordinaire. Got a lot of love, a lot of respect. Ultra connected to everybody. It's not just Dana White, it's Nick Khan as well. The combination of them two, Nick Khan is a long time, big time boxing fan, and he knows the sports world inside and out. I don't know anybody more connected than Nick Khan, and he's one of the great guys as well. Him and Dana White overseeing the sport of boxing, that would be phenomenal. Don't know if it'll happen to that degree, but we would all love for it to. No doubt about it. And Dana is going to always make sure, that come hell or high water, there's no way in hell you're going to avoid seeing the fights that you want to see. That's going to be what it's all about. You want to fight bad enough, you want to see two people go at it bad enough, boom, get in the damn ring and make it happen. Plain and simple. Got to make sure the money is there for the fighters, though. No doubt about that. But that's what you got to do. Boxing cannot be at the mercy of promoters that stall and prevent fighters from getting in the ring any longer. It's had a catastrophic effect on the sport. You know, and I miss it personally when it used to be the wide world of sports and Howard Cosell used to be on there calling fights. It was phenomenal. We used to see some big-time fights on ABC. No doubt about it. And I would give anything for us to be able to get back to that. That would be something special to behold. I'm here to tell you that right now. I would love to see that. Don't know if it'll happen, but I would absolutely, positively love to see that. Robert in Indianapolis, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me. What's up?
What's going on, brother? You're looking pretty dapper today, brother.
Thank you. I'm in Vegas, bro. I'm in Vegas, bro. Well, you know how it is.
Right. Right.
Go ahead, man.
I was calling because I've been knowing Terence Crawford since he was little. We from the same area of Nebraska. But what I wanted to tell you was I'm pretty scared if he don't stick and move like you said.
He has to.
He
has to.
Yeah,
Listen. I think he could beat Canelo. But he cannot stand in front of him and exchange.
No.
That would be a mistake. Now, let me tell you this. I got to share this with you, Robert. I got to share this with you because I was at the press conference yesterday. All right, when I interviewed both of them, and I'm gonna play those interviews in a few minutes, right? But I got to tell you this, Robert.
Right.
Canelo, for some reason, looked smaller.
He did.
And here's what worries me about that. Terence looks big and very strong. He felt like a damn rock, for crying out loud. Here's my thing about Canelo. Did you get smaller so you could be faster? And if that's true, how could that potentially compromise you? Because you're doing something you never did for anybody else.
Right.
You feel me?
And that's,
now, if you're
right,
doing what
and
you've
that's
always
right.
done, I got it.
You should have a problem, right?
But if you're going to change up and Crawford got you changing up, well, wait a minute now.
And that's the advantage of Crawford, right?
That's what I'm worried about, bro. That's what I'm worried about.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Jerry in California, you're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Jerry, go ahead.
Stephen A., thanks for taking my call, and thank you for your monologue yesterday. It made me cry. I mean, thank you very, very much.
So we all should have cried over that one. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, we did. Stephen A., I used to be in the sports media, and I was a sportscaster in Santa Barbara back in the day. And Oxnard, California was a part of the television market back then, and that's where Fernando Vargas grew up. And I covered Fernando when he fought, and I got to know him, and I got very close to him. He was always very gracious to me. I didn't, I'm small market TV
I
stuff.
appreciate that, but I need you to be quicker because you only got 30 seconds left. So go ahead and make your point real quick, buddy. I love Fernando Vargas too, but go ahead.
I'm sorry about that. I watched him train in his gym, and I saw his fights against Trinidad and Oscar De La Hoya live. Stephen A., can you tell your listeners the difference between being in a boxing match live and watching it in person? It is so
It's spectacular. It's spectacular, no doubt about that. I mean, because you hear the punches and you feel it. I mean, you damn near feel it. You feel sorry when somebody get knocked out in front of your face. That's just hard to see. That's just hard to see them tumbling down like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a hard pill for folks to swallow. I understand that. But in the end, what you going to do? What you going to do? It comes with the sport. It's a warrior sport. It's a gladiator sport. Hour number 2 up next. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Don't go away.
Unfiltered.
I'm not sold. I'm sorry.
Unapologetic.
I'm not trying to talk about him.
Unlike anyone else.
But knowing y'all
will probably make me.
This is the Stephen A. Smith Show.
2 minutes past hour number 2. Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, coming at you as I love to do every weekday afternoon, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then Mad Dog and his show, Afternoon Drive, comes on from 3 to 6. And then after that, you get a double dose of Stephen A. because my show gets re-aired from 6 to 8 p.m. every weekday, right here over the airwaves of Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always a number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. I love my boxing. I truly, truly do. I've been watching it since I was a kid, from the days of, Cleveland Williams versus Muhammad Ali. Everybody knows the Rumble in the Jungle and, the Thriller in Manila and everything in between. I mean, I used to watch Ernie Shavers going up against Larry Holmes, Ken Norton going up against Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier getting destroyed by George Foreman and Norton as well. And, in between, you see the Ron Lyles of the world and other guys, but those are just heavyweights. Sugar Ray Leonard, Pepino Cuevas, Salvador Sanchez, Tommy the Hitman Hearns. The list just goes on. Wilfredo Benitez, let's not forget him and how great he was. And just so many. Roberto Duran, of course, can't forget him. I was too young to watch Sugar Ray Robinson in real time, but, I know who he is and what he brought to the table. I'm not going to go back as far as Doggy Wood with the Jake LaMottas of the world and the Joe Lewises of the world. I'm not doing that. But I'd say all of that to say I love my boxing. And this fight Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada at Allegiant Stadium, where the Las Vegas Raiders play football with 60,000 plus, is scheduled to descend upon the stadium. And by the way, every seat's going to be filled, because if you know anything about Canelo Alvarez, wherever he goes, an audience follows. The man is that big time. Make no mistake about it. He is something special to behold. And he's 63-2. He has never been knocked out. His 2 fights that he lost was when he was 22 and got given a boxing lesson by Floyd Money Mayweather. And then after that, a couple of years ago, fought Bivol at the light heavyweight division, who was taller and longer and jabbed him to death and threw a whole bunch of punches and beat him by decision. But this guy, Canelo Alvarez, is something special. It's just that so is Crawford. So is Terence Crawford. A 4-division world champion out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's undefeated. 41-0 with 31 KOs, and he begged for this fight. He wanted Canelo bad because to him, it's all about legacy. I'm not speculating. I'm telling you what I know. And how would I know? It's because I interviewed him. Yesterday, we sat down. Here is my conversation with the one and only Terence Crawford challenging Saul Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight divisions to do it in pursuit of the super middleweight championship of the world. Stephen A. with Terence Crawford. Take it away. Here with Mr. Terence Crawford himself, arguably the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. You wanted this fight. That's what you told me. You told it to me years ago. You told it to me last year. You wanted it bad. You got it now. How are you feeling as we get set for Saturday night?
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to go out there and make history.
What should people expect to see from Terence Crawford in this fight?
A little bit of everything. I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of everything in there. I think Canelo is a great fighter. He's one of the all-time great Mexican fighters. I think he's going to bring the best out of Terence Crawford, and a lot of people are going to be surprised.
What do you think you need to do in order to win the fight, considering the level of greatness that Canelo brings to the table?
Be myself.
And who is that?
Terence Crawford. That's it. I'm 41-0 for a reason. Mm-hmm. Just be myself and just go out there and have fun, like I always do.
You're a 4-division champion. You're undefeated, 41-0, 31 KOs. We know who you are. We know what you bring to the table. But that was as a junior welterweight, a welterweight, obviously a junior middleweight. You're bypassing the middleweight division, going up 2 weight classes in order to fight this guy. Why did you want to do this so badly?
Because we the 2 best fighters of our era, still, going strong. Everybody else is, either younger than us or, past and retired. So why not? I want to challenge myself. The best always looking to fight the best and challenge themselves, and why not, challenge myself with the likes of Canelo. Big risk, big reward.
I got the impression usually when you see a big time match, the public wants it, the promoters are wanting it. It seemed like you were the one asking for this. Did you have to convince Canelo to do this, or is it a situation where both of you decided a long time ago that this was something that was inevitable?
I don't think he wanted the fight at first because he felt like it was a lose-lose situation, especially me having one fight at 154 and him getting backlash against Charlo and things like that. So I think Turkey, had a big part in convincing him to take the fight with me.
So when he decided to take this fight, I'm imagining, first of all, money matters and nobody needs to apologize for that. But outside of the money, what do you believe he thinks he gets out of fighting you?
Well, I'm an all-time great as myself. I'm a fighter that never been defeated. He's looking to be that fighter to defeat me, and I don't know, it's probably certain personal reasons as well, but he would definitely get credit for beating Terence Crawford.
Now, knowing you, I know that you're aware of the things that people are saying. You're moving up in 2 weight classes. You're the smaller man. In order to beat Canelo Alvarez, you're going to have to keep your distance. You're going to have to fight on the outside. Whatever you do, Terence Crawford, don't exchange against him. This is the stuff that people have been saying and analyzing and dissecting this upcoming fight. What do you feel you have to do?
Like I said, be me. I don't got to, listen to the people that's not in the ring fighting. They not in the ring fighting. I'm the one in the ring fighting. So I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get the job done. And so be it. That's it.
Do you think it's possible that we could end up seeing you exchange with Canelo Alvarez, the bigger man that's been walking around as a super middleweight champion for a while? Or is that possible that we going to see that, Terence Crawford?
Just watch the fight. That's it. Just watch the fight. He bleed like I bleed. A lot of people is looking at Canelo Alvarez like this tank that can't get hurt. We didn't see him hurt before. We didn't see him cut before. He's human just like me. So, he got things to worry about just like I do.
When you beat Errol Spence, I think a lot of people anticipated that you were going to win that fight. We didn't anticipate that you would win it as convincingly as you did. One would surmise that at that moment in time, you arrived. But you gave the impression this was just the beginning, that people still weren't giving you the respect that you richly deserved. Do you still find yourself feeling that way?
Of course, it's always going to be like that, until I do something spectacular like I will this Saturday. Then after this Saturday, then I think everybody will have no choice but to respect and, call me one of the greatest to ever do it.
Do you believe you're one of the greatest to ever do it, or do you believe you are the best to ever do it?
I do believe I'm one of the greatest. I don't want to disrespect the fighters that came before me because there was a lot of great fighters, but, I do believe that I'm one of them.
Did you want to fight at 168? Or did you have to do that in order to get this fight? Because a lot of people have been wondering, how come you couldn't convince the man to slide down a few pounds, instead of having to go all the way up to 168? What was that about?
Well, my thing is this: he's the champion. I want to fight him. It wasn't the other way around. So why put stipulations and rehydration clause and all these, tactics to benefit me when I'm the one that's chasing him, when I'm the one that want to fight him. So it's going to make this victory more meaningful that there wasn't no rehydration clause. There wasn't no, catch weight and things like that. So
you put no conditions on this fight. All you did was sign on the dotted line, got him to sign on the dotted line, and you showing up Saturday night. That's what you're telling us?
That's it.
As we sit here right now, and you contemplate where you're going from here, others have talked about you possibly retiring because this is the fight that you wanted. You're getting this. If it is as successful as you're proclaiming it's going to be, could we be seeing the end of Terence Crawford after this? You're 37 years of age, but you don't look it. You're certainly not boxing on that level. You're elite, but is this the end? Is this a swan song?
Nah, man, listen. I always say we take one fight at a time. This is the fight that we at, and after this fight, we're gonna take one fight at a time and see where we at.
Is it just about a win, or do you win, you have to because you use the word spectacular. And when we say spectacular in boxing, that usually involves a knockout, which is something that this has never happened to this man in 65 professional fights. As a welterweight, as a junior middleweight, as a middleweight, as a super middleweight, as a light heavyweight, he has never been knocked out. Is that what you're talking about doing?
Listen, if the knockout's there and it comes, then it comes. But I can assure you that I'm going to have a spectacular win. And everybody's going to be talking about it.
You talked to me and you were talking about a legacy fight. You wanted that badly. We thought it was going to be Errol Spence, and maybe it is in some people's eyes, maybe it isn't because of how lopsided it ended up being. But clearly this one is. Was there anyone else out there that you were thinking about if you didn't luck up and get Canelo to fight you?
Not at all. Not at all.
You've been fixating on this man for a while.
There's not one fighter out right now that I can match up with right now that can generate a mega event like this. When you look at the landscape of boxing right now, any active fighter right now, you can't name one, not one. So, that's another reason why I picked Canelo Alvarez, because, like I said, we the two best fighters of this era, and it's the biggest fight in boxing.
Is there anything, before I let you get on out of here, is there anything that can happen in this fight that would make you feel as if you have finally received the respect and the adulation that you deserve?
A victory. That's it.
By any means?
By any means.
Any prediction for the fight, specifically?
Victory.
I'm just asking.
For sure.
No knockout. Tickle around.
If it's there, it's there.
It's there, it's there.
Victory.
What have you been seeing from Canelo Alvarez that lets you know something's going to be there?
Well, nothing. I just believe in my skills. I believe in me. I believe in my team. I don't gotta see anything in him. I see it all in me. My belief is what's gonna take me to the top.
People look at you and they say sometimes it appears as if you have a healthy dislike for some opponents. In Errol Spence's case, that wasn't necessarily the case. In Canelo's case, what's that relationship like between you two?
I don't got no bad blood against Canelo. Like I said before, he just got something that I want. That's it. It's all business.
And it's not just the title, it's what else?
It's everything. He got everything. And I'm coming to get it.
And when you beat him, you'll have everything?
That's right.
I got it. That was yours truly with the one and only Terence Crawford, challenging moving up 2 weight divisions to challenge Saul Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight championship of the world. T in Philly, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, buddy.
What's up, my man? T Love's in the house.
I said T.
Okay.
Don't give me that T Love. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. Listen, what I don't want to see in Vegas is a Vegas decision. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the fight that we all see and know when it's over that the right man won.
Okay.
That's my biggest problem. Now, I like both of these guys. You know, I'm leaning towards Crawford, of course. You know, that's me. But I just want to see the right decision take place. And Vegas is famous for a lot of bad decisions, a lot of bad blood. I just want it to be that kind of fight.
Well, let me say this to you.
You
Let me
know?
say this to you, T. I agree with you. I truly do. But it's not that big of a deal for me. Yeah, like you might lament the outcome, but we don't know the outcome until the end of the fight, which means if we got a great fight, we could complain about the outcome, but we ain't fazed by it. You feel me?
No, we ain't phased because it ain't me and you in the fight. You know, I'm not fighting the guy.
That's what I'm saying. We're not phased, right?
I want to see
Right.
what my eyes see. You know. What
Well, let me tell you what I want to see.
know.
You want me to tell you what I want to see? I want to see something that
What you
ain't
wanna
left
see,
up
brother?
to the judges.
There you go.
That's what I want to see.
There you go. A knockout would be.
I want to see. I want to see something that ain't left up to the judges. I mean, Errol Spence was losing so bad, I was almost tempted to jump in the ring and stop the fight. I couldn't believe the beating. I mean, you ever saw that episode of Martin when Tommy Hitman Hearns was on there? And he messed up his face, and then he came out in that mask at the end of the show with Gina.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Put that mask next to Errol Spence's face after he fought Terence Crawford, and you don't see a difference. That's how bad it was. I'm not making fun of him because I love Errol Spence, but it was that bad. It was that bad.
Steve, check this out. Did he really even belong in that ring? The man couldn't see. He didn't. He should have never took that fight. To be honest.
Are you talking about the car crash that derailed him?
You know he couldn't see in that fight.
I'm just saying,
he couldn't protect himself.
I'm just saying the point is,
protect
but the point is he had a fight or two before he fought Terence Crawford. But in hindsight, you might be right. I gotta go, T. Thank you so much for the call, man.
My man.
Let's go to Jay in Brooklyn. You're live with Stephen A. Jay, talk to me.
Stephen A. Nice to speak to you for my very first time.
Your sound is terrible, my brother. I'm gonna have to cut you off if you go. You better get closer to your phone or something. I can't have my listeners listening to you in a tunnel or something. Call back. Call back. Call back, man, because your signal sucks. All right, let's go to Scott in San Francisco. You're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Scott, go ahead.
Hey, Stephen A. Thanks for bringing up Ron Lyle. I was living in Vail in '76. I just moved there. I lived there for 22 years,
Wow.
and Ron Lyle was from Denver. Tell the young viewers about that classic fight in 1976 with George Foreman, man.
Well, listen. Oh my God. Oh my God. You're talking about the ultra powerful George Foreman, heavy puncher. Ron Lyle dropped him several times, and he dropped Ron Lyle several times before ultimately finishing Lyle. And the punches that he finished Lyle with wasn't even that hard. It's just that Ron Lyle was gassed. Don't get me wrong, he was hurt too because they were both knocking each other senseless. I mean, he knocked George Foreman down at one point where George Foreman fell face first.
Yeah,
and you didn't think he was going to get up, but he got up and knocked out Ron Lyle.
Tell the young viewers to go to YouTube and check out
Go
that
look
fight,
at it.
man. It's
Absolutely.
one of the best ever.
Absolutely. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much, Jay. Scott, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call. It's 888-623-3646. See a lot of people outside this window walking by. Anybody want to see the fight? Anybody going to the fight? If y'all do, raise your hand. Let me know. I might have to talk to y'all about that. Anyway, coming up, you heard from Terence Crawford. Up next, Saul Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. He got something to say about this upcoming fight as well. I didn't just talk to one fighter. I spoke to them both. Canelo Alvarez up next, right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Back to the Stephen A. Smith Show.
24 minutes past hour number 2 back here on the Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82. The Stephen A. Smith Show coming at you live every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, re-airing from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So don't miss it. I'm coming at you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, site of the mega fight taking place Saturday night, as in tomorrow night, when Saul Canelo Alvarez defends his undisputed 168-pound crown up against Terence Crawford, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet, top 2 in most people's eyes, 41-0, 31 KOs, undefeated, okay? And by the way, speaking of undefeated, for those of you who may not know, it's a few. Some of the longest unbeaten streaks from the start of a professional boxing career. Undefeated includes draws. This is not necessarily a definitive list, but these are some of the names. Jimmy Wild was 93-0 before he lost his first fight in the early 1910s, by the way. Julio Cesar Chavez, remember him, 89-0-1 before Frankie Randall beat him. Willie Pep was 62-0 from 1940 to 1943. He went on to win a record 229 fights in his career. Ricardo Finito Lopez was 51-0-1, the legendary Mexican light flyweight champion, retired with an unbeaten record in 2001, never lost as an amateur or a professional. Of course, Floyd Money Mayweather. He surpassed Rocky Marciano's record at 49-0. He's a multi-division champion, beat many notable opponents, by the way. The great Rocky Marciano, the only heavyweight champion to retire with a perfect record. The Brockton Blockbuster was known for his relentless aggression. And, of course, Larry Holmes, the great heavyweight with a tremendous jab and a tremendous right hand. He started his career 48-0 before losing to Michael Spinks. Holmes was attempting to tie Rocky Marciano's record of 49-0 as a heavyweight champion, but Spinks, a light heavyweight champion at the time, moved up in weight to win the fight and make history, even though some people thought that was controversial. What we hope is not going to be controversial is the outcome of this fight Saturday night. You heard from the one and only Terence Crawford. Now you get to hear from Saul Canelo Alvarez sitting down with yours truly right here on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Here with the one and only Saul Canelo Alvarez. Good to see you. Why are you taking this fight?
You know, I take this fight because you can see how big is this fight, no? The beginning when they say, hey, you thinking about fight Crawford, I say, never thinking about that. But you can realize how big is this fight, no? Mexican, always Mexican versus USA is big. And 2 of the best pound for pound. And I think this fight is huge and means a lot for me.
When did you realize, when did the moment hit you that this fight can really, really be big? This fight can really be a major fight that a lot of people are looking to see. When did you know that?
When the people start talking. And obviously, everybody around try to make this fight. I say, look, needs to be big, right? Because Netflix, Riyadh season, everybody interested in this fight. So that's when I realized how big is this fight.
Crawford felt like initially you needed some convincing because you thought it was a lose-lose proposition, whereas you're fighting the smaller guy, and if you won, you wouldn't really get any credit for it. Was that what you were thinking?
Yeah, but if you think well, I've been in that position before. No, I'm moving up in weight classes, and I'm in the same position, and doesn't mean anything. I think when you're a great fighter, it doesn't mean anything.
You're 63-2, one of the great fighters of all time in a lot of people's eyes. How do you feel about yourself as a fighter at this stage of your career?
I feel great. I feel great. I feel in my prime. I feel in my best moment. I think the universe prepared this for me. And I feel in my prime right now. I feel in my best.
When people look at somebody like Crawford, they're saying this: you're the smaller guy. You're moving up 2 weight classes. This guy can put you to sleep. We've seen him put people to sleep before. You got to keep your distance. You got to stay away from him and box Canelo, because if Canelo has to chase you, he's not going to like that, and chances are that's going to give you your best shot. When you hear that kind of analysis being thrown out, how do you feel? People thinking that, you know what, if he moves, you're not going to be able to catch him.
Look, for me, all of that are opinions, no? And it's good, opinions for everybody. But in my mind, I know what I need to do. No, what the people say. Oh, you need to do this with Canelo because he's strong and chasing you and everything. I can do a lot of things. Maybe I don't did in my past fights because I don't need it, right? But I can do a lot of things, and I can counter punch. I can go forward, moving, hit hard, everything.
But you said with the last fight with Skull, for example, he was running around and it drove you crazy because you had to chase him and he didn't come to fight, and you seemed really, really frustrated.
Of course.
Okay.
To have a great fight, you need to be able to have the both fighters go with the mentality to win and with the pride, right? But my last fight was, I don't call it like a fight because the guy never tried to win, no? And it's very hard to fight with somebody like that.
What do you think Crawford's going to try to do?
I don't think he's gonna do like that. He have pride, and he don't move that kind of moves, right? He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter, and he have pride, and I don't think he's gonna fought like that.
Although you clearly have knockout power in both hands, I might add, you haven't stopped anybody since Caleb Plant. It's been since 2021, if I remember correctly. Why do you think that is?
I don't know, but I don't really pay attention on that because you have 12 rounds to see who's the best, right? And I show them who's the best in 12 rounds, and I don't never pay attention on that because sometimes you try so hard to win by knockout and you make a lot of mistakes. No, I just do my job and that's it. Whatever way, win is a win.
Do you think you can afford to make mistakes against Crawford?
No.
Why not?
Because he's a great fighter, and I don't think with Crawford and any other opponent, because if you make one mistake in boxing, it's gonna cost you a lot.
What about the fact that you have a two-weight division advantage in terms of walking around, fighting at this weight for many years, whereas this is his first fight at 168? Do you think a person like yourself, 65 fights, never been knocked out, do you think he could possibly hurt you if you made a mistake?
I don't know, and I don't think in that because I train so hard and I always do my job. And we'll see September 13th, right? That's why we are here to see who's the best. And I'm just gonna go in there and do my job.
Do you believe you're the best in the business at this point in time in your career?
Yes, I do.
Because?
Because I'm the best.
Assuming you beat
you can see my career and how many weight classes, world champions in how many weight classes I won, and how long I've been in this position. But don't get me wrong, it's disrespectful to see I'm just the only best with other great fighters out there. But I always feel the best. Since I start, I feel the best in amateurs, in my categories and everything. And I'm in the same weight right now.
We'll also go by the body count because there's certain people that you put to sleep. We still can't find them. We still APB out for them. Still can't find them. Put them to sleep. I got that part. But before I let you get on out of here, I got to ask you this. You win this fight. What's next for you?
I don't know. I'm focused 100% on this fight. I always do that, respect to my opponent and focus on the fight. And then I need to take a little time to enjoy my family because I need it. I need to enjoy my little daughter's just born. So, and then we'll see.
What can we expect from you Saturday night?
The best.
What does that mean?
The best of me, because
there's various elements of you that are great.
Yeah.
So which grade you talking about?
All the elements.
All.
You know. Yeah. That's what I mean. All the elements you know about me. That's what I mean.
I got it.
You got it.
Canelo Alvarez. That's victory. That's what he's saying.
Yeah. It's simple.
Very simple. Well, for him, it usually has been simple. That may not necessarily be the case going up against Terence Crawford. We got to keep our eyes on that and see how those things unfold. You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Let's go to Antonio in Baltimore. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Antonio?
Hey, Stephen A. I forgot to tell you last week when I called you, I appreciate and give you kudos for doing the HBCU campus visits. I'm a graduate of Howard U, and I really enjoyed all the visits you do to the HBCU. I was there with Gus Johnson and Jay Walker, late 80s, early 90s.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Got to tell you last week. Okay, I want to talk about boxing, and then I got a message for the city of Cleveland. I was a big boxing fan like you during that era. The problem is this fight that we're seeing tomorrow, they come too few and far between. Within an 18-month period, I think I saw a Sugar Ray Duran fight, Hearns Hagler, Livingston Bramble, Boom Boom Mancini, Ern Pryor, Alexis Arguello, Frank the Animal Fletcher, Beast Mugabe. I saw all these fights within like 18 months.
I don't know if it was that tight. I don't know if it was that tight within 18 months.
Well,
I remember Bramble versus Boom Boom Mancini. Lord have mercy. That was a beatdown. But go ahead.
James Scott and Fermo. I mean, I saw great fights repeatedly, but now it's like once every 2 years you get a big fight of this magnitude.
That's true.
I think that's what made a lot of people fall out of favor with it.
Well, I think it's a combination of that, and then when you did see it, it's like, wait a minute, that's not the fight you've been waiting for. It's a good fight. You understand it, but I think the real thing that turned us off is that when you had two fighters clamoring to go up against one another, and the promoters held it up. I think when that happened, I think that has damaged the sport more than anything else. But that's where I'm going with it. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much. Jay in Brooklyn, is your signal better?
Peace, Stephen A. Smith. I'm sorry for the mishaps of earlier.
No worry about it.
We
got you now. You sound a lot better now. Go ahead, bro.
All right. Thank you. I just wanted to say, man, this is going to be an outstanding fight. I believe that Crawford is going to have to do exactly what you're saying that he has to do in regards to sticking and moving. He fights a southpaw style. He's an orthodox fighter. And Canelo is more so of a counterpuncher.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to ask you this question. If Crawford basically knocks Canelo out and he puts him out in like the 6th or 7th round, does he get propelled past Floyd Mayweather? Because Floyd Mayweather went to the decision with him. And I'll take your answer off the air. Love you much, man.
I appreciate it, but I don't think he gets propelled past Floyd Money Mayweather because he would have beaten by KO an older version of the fighter that Floyd, Canelo's clearly better than he was, but he was a young lion when Floyd fought him, and Floyd schooled him. And I think that when you look at Floyd was just a master magician, and it all depends on what you feel. Like Tommy Hearns knocked out plenty of people, but Hagler caught him. Sugar Ray stopped him first go round. Iran Barkley caught him. You know, so those kind of things happen, all right? And it doesn't mean that you're not great or anything like that. It just means there's levels to this. In the case of Crawford, as great as he could potentially be against Canelo Alvarez, you got to look at the slew of fighters he's fought in his career compared to who Floyd Money Mayweather has fought in his career. Not when Floyd was a welterweight. Remember when Floyd was a junior welterweight and stuff like that, he was knocking cats out. But then his fist, you know, he constantly hurt his hands, and that was problematic. But it's hard to put anybody, you know, in the modern era above the magistry of a Floyd Money Mayweather. But I get it. And if Crawford takes out Canelo and he beats him the way he beat Errol Spence, we are going to have to look at Crawford a bit differently. I think that's true. No doubt about that. 888 Mad Dog 6 is the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Back with your calls to close out the show in a minute. Thanks again to Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez for coming on the show. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Back with your calls to close out the show in a minute.
Think you have what it takes to debate Stephen A? Call the show at 888 Mad Dog 6. Here's Stephen A. Smith.
42 minutes past hour number 2. Back here on the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. I see people outside in the window here looking into the show. I'm going to invite somebody in at some moment in time. I'm going to invite some people up in the house. You know what I'm saying? I got something. I got a gift I want to give somebody. So I'm going to invite somebody in when my bodyguard lets me know it's all right to bring them in. When Solange lets me know it's all right to bring him in. That's when I'm going to bring him in. But until then, I'm going to get back to your phone calls at 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the airwaves of Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Darnell in Illinois has been holding for a while. It better be a damn good reason you calling me and holding this long. What's the deal, Darnell? What's up?
What's going on, Stephen A? How you doing?
I'm all right. Talk to me. What's up? Why you been holding so long? What's on your mind?
Just got a quick question. I want to know, how do you feel about the Angel Reese situation?
What Angel Reese situation?
With all of the talk about in the locker room and her talking down on her teammates.
Okay, first of all, we talking boxing, we talking NFL, and you gonna call up with me about the WNBA. All right, I'll play along. Let me tell you this. I like Angel Reese a great deal, Darnell. She's averaging 14 and 12. She's one of the league leaders in rebounding. The team stinks. They're 10 and 34. They're tied with the Dallas Wings for the worst record in basketball, women's basketball. I don't like the fact that she's on a team that is that troubled. Yet a nemesis like Caitlin Clark, who's out for the year, but when she's on the court, they're winning more than they're losing. This is what we have to remember about Angel Reese. She can play. She's a contributor for any team in the WNBA. But let's call a spade a spade. She would not be what she is if she wasn't chirping in Caitlin Clark's face in the NCAA when Caitlin Clark was balling, and then she ran into LSU, and Caitlin Clark was chirping too and talking smack to opponents, and then she ran into Angel Reese and LSU, and they took her down and won the national title. But understand that if Angel Reese did none of that, and she just won a national title at LSU and never made any headlines by chirping at Caitlin Clark and getting in the face of Caitlin Clark, she wouldn't be who she is in terms of popularity. I want to make sure I'm very, very clear, because I got a bunch of ladies working for me. I got a bunch of ladies outside watching me, everybody around. I am not disrespecting Angel Reese. I know she can play. Look at me, Isis. Look at me now. I know she can play. I know she can make a contribution, but she would not be that popular if she didn't chirp in Caitlin Clark's face. She antagonized and ridiculed the Golden Goose, and that's what made her popular, waving in her face the way that she did when they were taking out Iowa for the national championship. That is what made Angel Reese popular, not her game. Caitlin Clark is popular because of her game, because she could pull up from the parking lot. These are facts, and let's not act like we don't know them. So all I'm saying is, when you combine that with the fact that you then turned around and you were upset because people were ridiculing you, hate mail and hate letters and all of this other stuff, and I know folks can be cruel, and I know they ain't right, and Angel Reese can play, and she's a great contributor, and we love the fact that she's in the WNBA. But she got here by talking smack. I'm talking about in terms of her popularity, not her game. She got to become who she is by talking smack. So how's she going to go to Chicago and all of a sudden be timid, Darnell? She can't. She got to live up to her MO. And that's what you're seeing. All right? Thank you for the call. Appreciate it, man. Let's go to Tony in Cali. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Tony? How are you?
Steve.
Talk to me, Tony. What's up?
Yes, I'm trying to figure out who should we be mad at, the commissioners or the Players Association in basketball and football, because they get treated different in hockey and baseball. They can clear the bench in baseball, but if you cross that line in basketball or football, they get in charged and penalized. But they don't do that for hockey.
It's the audience. Time out. It's the audience. I know to you it may be as simple and black and white. Hockey players, Major League Baseball players, compared to the vast majority of players being of African American descent playing in basketball and football. I got that. But let me break this down to you. In hockey, you understand, the popularity of the sport was built on physical confrontation, them throwing down the gloves, fighting in the middle of the ice and stuff like that. So that contributed to the popularity of the sport. And that's something that was there since its inception, so we can't knock that. In the case of baseball, you have a stronger argument because Major League Baseball was widely recognized and has been widely recognized as America's pastime, synonymous with American apple pie, white picket fence, and obviously a vast majority of the players being white. And we know this for a fact because antitrust rules and regulations and stipulations and all of that stuff long favored Major League Baseball compared to other sports like basketball and football. So you do have a point there. But in the end, it's not about the commissioner being blamed. It's not about the sport being blamed. It's about a fan base that allows that level of inconsistency. The same people that watch baseball, watch basketball, watch football. Why is it that you let Major League Baseball get away with behavioral issues that you would never let NBA or NFL players get away with? That level of inconsistency is what the problem is. It's not so much rules, regulations, or lack thereof. It's the fact that it's enforced more so towards certain folks than you did towards others. And that's where the problem lies. And that's something that society needs to hold folks accountable for. If the league mandates that you treat everybody the same, if the audience rather does that, the leagues will have no choice but to capitulate. But the audience has never demanded it. And that's the problem, Tony.
Okay.
All right. Take it easy. Eric in West Virginia, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
Yes, Stephen A. For this, how you doing today, first of all?
I'm all right. How are you? Go ahead.
I'm doing good. I got a question about this fight coming up. I mean, I got Terence Crawford winning, but if Canelo wins and he don't take that fight with the Mexican Monsters,
he has to fight David Benavidez.
Do it feel like he do it feel like he ducking him?
You're damn right. There's no way around that. David Benavidez is a natural super middleweight. He is undefeated with a 90% knockout ratio. You have to fight him if you're Canelo at the super middleweight division. You have to fight him.
Well, I don't think he ain't gonna take that fight.
I think he will eventually. I think he will. I think he'll have no choice. And you know why? Because guess what? We don't bring this up enough. David Benavidez is Mexican too, you know. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. What the hell you doing running? Mexican fighters pride themselves on being brave, being ferocious, not backing up. They come to fight. They willing to fall on their sword. All of that other stuff. But the Mexican monster's been waiting here. He's been waiting there for years. I love Canelo. But you ask Canelo how many times I've challenged him about, when's the David Benavidez fight going down? David Benavidez is a monster, y'all. Let me be very, very clear about what I'm saying. All right? I'm telling you right now, the kid is special. And he deserves a shot. Let me tell you something. It ain't an accident, and listen, Terence Crawford is special. Don't get me wrong. But you don't see nobody clamoring to fight David Benavidez. People are sitting up there. All of a sudden, cats that are all bold and ferocious and they ready to take on any challenges, all of a sudden, they getting in the ring with David Benavidez, and what do you hear? We got to work the money. Yeah, we got to figure this out. Now, there's a reason they get a bit hesitant and stuttery when it comes to David Benavidez. That's something you got to think about. David Benavidez is a super middleweight that has to go to the light heavyweight division to get decent fights because people weren't clamoring to fight him. He is 34-0 with 20. I'm sorry, he is 30-0 with 24 knockouts. Sitting right in that weight division, waiting for cats to fight him, and got to move up to light heavyweight. Mexican Monster, so coined by Mike Tyson. Yo, I'm just telling you what it is. This is serious, y'all. This is serious. Let's see who we got here. Who else is on the phone with us right now, right here in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Ross in PA, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ross? How are you?
Hey, what's up, Stephen A? How you doing,
What's going on, man? Talk to me.
Listen, I don't think nobody wants to fight David Benavidez. I think if Canelo wins, he's going to retire. He's not going to fight him.
Well, he told me yesterday he's not. He told me yesterday he's not retiring.
Okay, but he can say that. But that monster that you talk about, he's for real.
He is for real.
I do think Terence Crawford will win this fight. And Terence Crawford is something special. Like you said, he fights with both hands.
Let me tell you something. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? I got something for you. Ross. You ready?
Yeah.
What if Crawford pulls off the impossible and wins over Canelo in fantastic fashion? Let's say a miracle happens and he stops him. Right? Yo, what about Crawford versus the Mexican monster? You know why I say that? You know why I say that, Ross? He already beat up his little brother. Remember, Crawford stopped his brother. Could you imagine if he beat Canelo and then said to David Benavidez, I ain't scared, let's get it on. Oh, damn. I'm just saying, I don't think it'll happen, but this boxing, anything's possible. Let's go to Jackson in Tennessee. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Jackson? How are you?
All right, hey, appreciate it, Stephen A. All right, so for the point you made earlier about the Eagles, if they remain the top power in the NFL, yes, they should until shown otherwise. That's that. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Chargers will beat the Raiders. Going to put that out there. And also, I got a question for you. Do you see any early fires for head coaches in the NFL right now?
The only early fire that I see is Mike McDaniels of the Miami Dolphins. They stink.
Yeah,
they're soft.
Yeah, he was the one.
They don't listen. Mm-hmm. I have no respect for you if you're an NFL team and you can't play in inclement weather. If the temperature is 40 degrees or lower, the Miami Dolphins are 0-7. They don't want to play. They in that southern Florida sunshine, that warm weather, getting their tan on and stuff, chilling on the beach and all of this stuff. And trust me, I go down there often. I relate. I do. I truly, truly do. I understand. But the bottom line is you're a football team. You got to show up. Right. And the Dolphins don't. Right. I think Mike McDaniel is going to get himself fired.
True. I really do.
Take it easy, bro. Thank you so much. Solange, if you're out there, get in here, please. I'm talking to one of my employees. I wanted her to come in here for a second, because we only got like 3 minutes left in the show. She's Solange walking around like we got 10 minutes. What's up? What's going on, my brother? How are you? Are you doing all right? What's your name, man? Tori? Yes, sir. Pleasure to meet you. I was telling everybody that was out here, just continue to watch the show, and a lot of people here in Vegas and stuff like that. I just wanted you to know, my man, I'm watching everybody walk out here. I see what they had to say, how supportive they were, and watching the show and support me. I appreciate it. So I got a surprise for you. I got a couple of tickets for you for the fight, my brother.
Hello, Dave.
I got a couple of tickets for you for the fight. There we go. I got you. Who you got winning?
Crawford. You said you have to take your money. We gonna go do it?
He sound like he want to host a radio show. That's how he sound. He sound like he want to host a damn radio show. Appreciate you, bro. Congratulations. You can ask. Go ahead, ask your question real quick, because the audience can't hear you. But go ahead. Talk loud enough, but ask the question.
If we get out of Vegas, if we have a close fight, or if we win a fight, all out, if we get out of Vegas.
You can get out of Vegas. It's Vegas. Ain't nobody holding you here in Vegas because more people want to come. People gonna live. People gonna live it up here in Vegas. You see all these people out here. We gonna have a good time. No question. Appreciate you, my man. Thank you so much. Before I get on out of here, let me take one more caller. Let's go to, I'm going to go to Joe in Dallas. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Joe?
Hey, what's going on, Stephen A?
Talk to me. What's up?
All right, listen, before I say anything, I just wanted to say I've been a huge fan of yours for a long time. I was in the military for 5 years, and I listened to your podcasts all throughout when I was deployed and everything. So I'm really appreciative of you and all your sports views. But I do have a question for you.
Yeah, real quick. Go ahead. Appreciate that, but go ahead real quick.
Of course. Listen, I'm a New York Giants fan. It's been rough. I feel like we're still stuck in last season. Besides the quarterback issue, which I feel like is a huge issue, what do you think is the main thing the Giants need to focus on? I know we got a tough schedule, but at least
your offensive line. Your offensive line. You got to buffer up your offensive line so you can justify bringing Jackson Dart in there without putting him on suicide watch. That's what you got to have because they have no offensive line. They can't protect their quarterback. And this rookie that's come in onto this team has already elevated to the QB2 position. We all know that Russell Wilson ain't really a QB1 any longer. So they're waiting to give Jackson Dart the reins. The issue is, why do that if you can't protect him? Then you're slaughtering him and you're compromising your future before you really build one. And that's what you simply cannot allow to happen. Jackson Dart can play, but the real issue is that you don't really have anybody else that your teammates believe in. Look at Malik Neighbors. Look at who this brother is and what he brings to the table. He's winning every matchup out there on the field. He's open, and he's still having contested throws his way because people can't get to him. The quarterbacks can't get the football to him. That's the real problem in all of this, and that's what really has to change. You got to get a quarterback in there that he believes in, that he has confidence in. And Brian Daboll's got to save his career. He don't want to get himself fired. And Joe Shane, the GM, has to save his career. He don't want to get himself fired. The best way to go about doing that is to make sure you get Jackson Dart in there sooner than later. After they lose to Dallas, I think you'll see him for week 3. We got to get on out of here. Thank y'all for joining the show. Thanks to Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez for coming on the show. Holla at y'all Monday. Enjoy your weekend. God bless.